What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Social Media Mindset Podcast. And today I have a great friend of mine. You know, the internet is so cool because you can call people great friends that you've never technically met in person. And that is the case today with Taylor ELLARD. Taylor, guys, just so y'all know, first, she's the host of the Lending Forward podcast. Super cool podcast in the mortgage space, designed to serve and give back and provide value. And you do an amazing job at it. You also have a title. It has the word national in it. And so I know like that's a big deal. I don't remember the rest of it, but you coach. You are now also, guys, this is so cool. And this is what we're going to spend a lot of time on this episode talking about is you decided to go get your license so that you could put into practice all the things that you coach y'all's lenders through. Which I didn't mention with Atlantic Bay Mortgage. Yeah. And so you're studying right now.
Right now.
And you're going to soon take your test. And guys, the coolest part, this is why I'm so excited for this episode, because you're documenting the process. Mm-hmm. Super cool. So Taylor, first of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. It's so crazy because you're like a friend that I've never met, but I feel so close to.
I know. It's the power of the internet. And it's why you and I pull our hair out trying to get these lenders and, well, in my case, also realtors to just show up online because you're rubbing off on people more than you'll ever know.
Yeah. From your phone. From your phone, Kyle.
Right.
That's the craziest thing. And that's what everybody has in common. We all have that in common.
100%. So let's jump in here. Why, out of anything you could have chose to do, why did you wake up and go, I'm going to kind of have my own reality show and I'm going to film all the behind the scenes of studying and talk about it and like walk us through this process.
So I've been in the industry for 7 years, right? And on the marketing side. So I've seen all sides from creating websites and the digital and then the digital, having their, gosh, what are they? Look, I don't even use them anymore because we're also virtual. Business cards.
What is
virtual
that?
You're right. You're like, wait a minute. What is that business card I'm supposed to hand people with my nasty germs on? So a digital one, right? I'm like, oh, I've been through all of this and now we've come full circle back to QR codes. And so I said to myself, I'm teaching all of these things and I'm hoping to instill all of these goals in people because their business deserves it, right? If you think about it, your business deserves it. If you believe that you want to grow. So why not just show people in real time? Wait a minute. Let me just show you. I'm going to practice what I'm preaching to you guys so that you can see that there is time, minimal effort into going, sometimes big effort. Sometimes you get into a tool and you do the legwork up front, but how it can be done seamlessly. And by being able to filter it into your daily habits, stacking a habit on a habit. Mel Robbins, thank you very much for that. Being able to do those things. Shout out to Mel. Let me just show you. Let me be the roadmap that you so want to be on, but you're so A, scared to get in front of the camera, B, don't have the time to do it, or C, have no idea where to begin and are too overwhelmed to even try.
I love it. And so in all your coaching, because I love talking to coaches because you get to experience all kinds of people as you're working with your LOs at Atlantic Bay in their marketing efforts, where do you see them getting hung up the most?
Video, 100% video. And it's crazy because I've got some people that will say, I will not go. I won't do it. I will not go. I just can't. I hate my voice. I hate the way I look on camera and I just can't do it. And I think, what an injustice to yourself. And then I've got the other people who are like, yeah, let me do it. And where do I begin? And I'm always saying, how many agents, I'm talking to my loan officers. I'm like, how many agents can you call right now that will answer the phone? And they're like, I don't know, 5 to 10, 7, 10, something like that. Why aren't you sending them a weekly video to stay top of mind? And it just text it to them. You've got their phone number.
Mhm.
I guarantee you, that's the one practice I will say. And I've heard people doing it each week, like a script battle, right? If you tell yourself, I have to send weekly agent videos to my agents just to stay top of mind and relevant, whether that's here's a motivational quote. I hope this stuck with you. It really meant something to me. Make it a good week. If you do that 3 or 4 weeks in a row, you are overcoming your fear. You are staying top of mind. And come week 5, when you don't send a video, your agents are going to say, wait a minute, I never got my video from Kyle this week.
Mhm.
So now you're being they're wanting more from you, which in turn, it's like, wow, it's a whole shift of the agent
Yeah.
sphere, if you will, because
Yeah.
before it was very much like, I got to go get the business. I got to get realtor business and stuff. Make them want you, make them miss you, provide something where if you don't give it, they're going to miss you and miss that.
It's huge. The most present lender wins.
Right.
Now, you can suck, and so you only win once, right? So that's the caveat to that. But every lender already believes they're great at their job.
Mm-hmm.
So if they'll
Sales.
just position themselves to being present, they're going to win. But I want to go back because you said something interesting that you just blew right through a couple minutes ago. You said the lenders that say they won't do it, you said it's such an injustice to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Unpack that.
So, gosh, I mean, video is something that we all have and we all have access to. And if you're watching other people take your seat at the table, take your seat at the table because they're out there doing the video.
Mm-hmm.
It's an injustice to your business and yourself. And it all boils down to confidence, which to me is like, I'm not the most confident person in the world. You ask any of my friends, hey, look, we all put our pants on the same way. That's always been my motto. I would never come across as like super confident, but my boss, shout out to Bill. Bill's always like, you come across so passionate. Your confidence just shows right through. And I'm like, I don't see myself like that. But again, I'm out there doing video because I'm preaching it. And I'm saying, I don't want someone to take my seat at the table. Mm-hmm. So by not doing video, you're doing an injustice to your business. You're preventing yourself to grow. And that video has such legs to your business. Video doesn't, and I always, this just as well as I do. When I was teaching social, and you remember when we would all sit in a room back in like 2015, 20 through 2020, and we'd all talk about why you should be on Facebook and what targeting is and what a Facebook business page is and this, that, and the other. Well, now you have to go big or go home. I mean, you just need to be on there. And so I just, I think there's so much value in video, and it no longer is it just belly to belly. It is belly to belly, but it's also when I'm getting my haircut and they're trying to buy a home. I'm like, well, let me hook you up with Kyle. Let me hook you up with Kyle. He's great. Yeah. He'll handle your business. I've been coming to you for a few years now. You're a great person. Let me hook you up with someone I know, love, and trust. So,
but what's interesting is like our bellies are virtually facing each other right now. Mm-hmm. Right. So I think this is what's so interesting to me about people that give the Heisman to doing video, is they don't understand that like my brain wasn't created and wired to go, oh, Taylor's not really Kyle's friend because they're doing this through a camera. Mm-hmm. My brain doesn't know the difference between you and I doing this right now and then me going to have lunch with somebody as soon as this is over.
Right.
And so this is the power in that every time we show up, we're not 1-to-1 anymore. We're 1-to-30. We're 1-to-300. We're 1-to-10,000, right? Depending on the views that we get to whatever the content is that we're doing. And this is why it frustrates me so much. Because people just don't get it. Yeah. I made the decision, so I got off TikTok like 5 months ago after having done it 90 days in a row, mm-hmm. and was like, I don't want to do it. I'm over it. But then friends kind of kicked my butt and were like, dude, you need to be there, man. Quit being a big old baby and like, just show up. And so now I decided, Taylor, here's how my brain works. I got back on like 10 days ago. And here was my commitment. I'm doing a TikTok every day. Every day. And then it also becomes a reel. And that was just the deal that I made with myself, that I'm not going to tippy toe back in. I'm not going to just kind of show up from now until forever. I'm just going to get into the zone of every day I create at least some form of video content.
Well, how's it going for you?
It's going great. I love it. And I'm not getting caught up in comments and all that. I'm just posting, right? I'm just creating that content. And it's unbelievable what happens when we just decide I'm going to show up. I don't know what I'm going to do when I get there, but I'm going to show up today.
Yeah. Your business deserves it. And it doesn't, you don't have to, people think social planning has to be this like long drawn out monthly calendar. Yes, people do that. Yes, I've done it. I think it's good to make sure you have some sort of a healthy mix of content, but once you're there, it's like, just take 30 seconds. That's it. That's all it takes. And don't finesse it. Get out of your head. Just do it. Get on there, go live, get off, continue with your day. You've checked the box of doing what you wanted to do. You're trying to provide quality content. And that's what I'm telling mortgage bankers. Talk about what's going on in your pipeline. Talk about issues you're seeing in real time. I've got they've had a couple of trouble with, their credit and this is how we overcame it. And then you got another man who's getting ready to retire. And this is what I'm dealing with for his, just talk about things it could be Joe Schmo that you're not even working with, but it's a problem that you dealt with before. People love to hear about that kind of thing. You're solving someone's problem. People like to hear about that.
They love it. And I'm going to give a secret out that I've been doing lately. So I bought a new camera.
I know
on the podcast. So people won't be able to see this, but I bought a Sony ZV-1, and it's called like the content creators camera.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not lenses that you can take off, and like it's just a very simple content camera. And so I've been angling this like over here to the side. And so on some of my reels lately or my TikToks, it looks like I'm doing a podcast, but I'm faking it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to give me some diversity in content. Yes. And that sometimes I'm looking into the camera. Sometimes, it's getting me off to the side. So it kind of feels like you're in the room while I'm recording something. And so the reason I was saying this is anyone listening, if you struggle with video and just the thought of looking into a camera hole is weird, or looking at yourself is uncomfortable, record it off to the side.
Right.
You could I could hold, now I have big headphones on for us recording, but like I could record myself like this, holding my phone to my ear, like I'm on a call with a buyer.
Right.
And just talk. Or even crazier, what if you just turn the camera on while you're actually on the call with a buyer and just see what happens?
I know. And you can think outside of the box like that. It doesn't always, people think video means it's got to be right here in your face.
Right.
And it doesn't. And that's one thing. So I try to, whenever I'm prescribing to mortgage bankers and they're not ready to just dive right on in with actual video content of themselves, I say, okay, get on the Realtor Weekly program. That will break your overcome your confidence.
And so that's just one-to-one videos. They're just recording videos to realtors.
On my phone. I'm just happy Monday. It's Taylor over at Atlantic Bay. I just wanted to pop on here and say, maybe it's a market update. Maybe it's I know I saw you at last week's function and I wanted to see how your son's T-ball game went. It could be anything. Just come off as a person that you genuinely care about working with these people. And these people are top of mind to you. So you're pouring back into your business by making sure that they're top of mind and they know it. But I think easing into that's one way to overcome it. The other side of it is look at every event that you go to, coffee, lunch, a happy hour. Look at those as events, right? And so you need a little checklist in your repertoire, if you will, that says before the event, I'm going to talk about going to the event, or I'm going to do a post about going to the event. Then I'm at the event. Maybe I want to take a few pictures. Maybe I want to open the door and do like a fun boomerang. There's all kinds of options that are there that could be not just you in front of a screen, if that's the route that you choose. But I mean, you just have to look like people are gonna do their research before they even
Right.
pick up the phone to call you. And by the way, they're not calling you anymore. Those days are over.
Oh my
They're gonna
gosh.
text you. They're gonna
Okay,
figure that out.
Stop real fast. Can we just use this as a PSA to say, guys, stop giving out your phone number on social media posts. You're asking them to do an extra step. They're already in Facebook. They're already in Instagram. Say the phrase, DM me.
Right.
And you'll actually get some people to DM you.
I know. That's how we met.
That is how we met. And so it's always hilarious to me when people like put their phone number on a picture, and I'm like, what is happening? It's not the 90s.
Gonna have to, that's like the third click in. I've got to now I want to call you. Okay, Kyle, I'm so devoted to calling you. I have zero instant gratification. So I have all the time in the world to figure out where the heck that phone number is. What post did I see it on? Was that a video?
Right.
I'm gone. I mean, if you're anybody that's less than 50, you are done. You're gone. I'm not calling you. I can't find your number.
And most realtors and lenders say they'd answer their phone, but they're lying because the good ones are busy.
Yeah. Don't call me. Don't call me.
I refuse. I literally don't answer my phone. If you
don't know that number.
Oh, for sure. If I don't know the number,
right.
But even if I know the number, and I hate for any of my friends that like call me and I don't answer. Now you know why. But I just assume that we're going to waste time in that conversation. We're going to talk about things that don't matter to ultimately then get to why they called, which would have simply been a 60-second text interaction.
Oh my gosh.
And so I wait for them to text me. And then 90% of the time we solve it through text.
Mm-hmm. Well, I live through the hold down the voice text, and you can hear my voice. You hear my inflection, and that's great for borrowers too. Just have, hey, here's what you can expect this week. Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to need this piece of paper, that piece of paper. So-and-so from processing is going to call you. It's so easy. It takes you 2 seconds. And that's just, I mean, or do a video or a reel, save it, and then put closed captioning on it and text it to them. Bam.
You know, what I wish every lender would do is the moment they get a potential buyer, that they use the Marco Polo app.
Oh, I love Marco Polo.
And they just tell them, they say, hey, communication is the only way this won't go smoothly. Yeah. And so in order to avoid all potential miscommunication opportunities, we're going to use an app called Marco Polo. It's video walkie-talkie. When I need to tell you guys something, you and your spouse will both be on there. And then we always communicate through video. When you need something of us, you send us a video through Marco Polo. The thread is saved. So we never have to go back and say, oh yeah, I said that in another. Well, we can go back and go, no, you didn't say that.
Right.
And now you're living in front of these people. So now they don't only see you as just a good transaction, they see you as a friend that they want to tell other people about by the end of this thing.
I know. It's such an experience. It's like I'm holding your hand through this experience. I stumbled across Marco Polo when one of my good girlfriends was like, hey, you want to make sourdough bread? I know how to make it. Let's do it together. And in real time, we're showing each other what our little starter kits look like. Yeah. So it was, anyway, I love that app. I think that's brilliant. If you're a mortgage banker and or an agent right now, take that nugget with you, because it is video for one. So you're really investing some time in there. It doesn't have to take a long amount of time, but you're showing you care. And then just go throughout the whole process with that. But I wanted to kind of jump back to the not answering of the phone and being timely and such. Yeah. So, I gauge some of my phone calls on how long they're going to take. So if I think I'm with Chatty Cathy or Silent Stan, then I know exactly how much to gauge for each. So, but that's for me, from what I'm hearing and coaching world, is that people are time blocking for social and an irrelevant time that will not work for them. So when I ask someone, do you have time? Are you utilizing your time blocks? Because right now, I mean, I'm meeting, and they are too. So when you're putting in a time block at 12 o'clock for a social media post, do you really think you're going to get that done?
Right.
So doing it when it's like okay, hair's done, makeup is done. You struggle with that, I'm sure. Yes, and then
all the time.
Trying to figure out a good time to do it seems to be hard. So I'm like, where's your sweet spot? Be caffeinated, have a little bit of confidence about yourself, have your hair done, be ready to go, and then do it at 9:30 or 10:30 when you've already combed through your emails, it's in your pipeline for the day. You're not ready for lunch just yet. So
I love that.
just pack it in when you can, but be smart about it. Be smart about your time blocks. It's
Well,
just, yeah.
and so right along the lines of that, Gary Vee says, document, don't create.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've even coached people before, forget the posting part for a minute. Let's just for a week, let's just get you more comfortable with just documenting, right? Take 3 pictures today
Right.
of anything, like just random things. Take some pictures, begin to get accustomed to seeing, like people would be so freaked out through my worldview because I see everything as content, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I've trained my brain. Every restaurant we're in, right? I'm thinking about like, where's the best place to take a selfie with the coolest backdrop or the background that's going to tell the best story. I'm always aware. Why? Because I've trained my brain to think like that. And so most people that we coach, I think they have the ability to just turn it on. Okay, cool. I just met with Taylor. Boom. I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to be more like her. And they don't give you credit that it's taken you years to become the you that you are now.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just got to create these baby opportunities and kind of slowly crawl our way into walking. And then we can go run that marathon called Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody wants to take the steps to get there.
I sure wish they'd
tough.
start.
I know. So walk us back through, because you said you gave us the first thing of like sending one-to-one videos to realtors as the lender,
Mm-hmm.
right? Kind of working that muscle. What is there a full kind of progression of let's start one-to-one, and then you'd encourage them to what? And then you'd encourage them to what? Like, give us kind of the rest of that.
So as far as realtor setting, let's just say you're prospecting for agents. Okay. That's your goal for 2022. You're trying to prospect for agents. That's one way of starting, is sending them video. Everybody's got their phone number out there. So just send them a video, follow it up with a voicemail. Hey, not sure if you got a chance to see my video I sent you. I just wanted to put a face to the name. My name is Taylor and I'm trying to grow my sphere of influence here in Virginia Beach or Texas. And would love to connect. You've been in the business for a while. Give a compliment. Would love to call to action. Love to meet up with you. What does this week look like? What days are bad for you? That way you avoid those right out of the gate, and just see where that takes you. So you follow it up. You sent them a voicemail. You sent them a video text. Let a couple of days go by. Send another video and just say, hey, Kyle, I know you're having a crazy busy week. Me too. This industry's kind of crazy. Inventory's low. Everyone is going crazy. So you're just staying top of mind. Okay, you got a thanks, but no thanks, or they're too busy. Reach back out in a couple of weeks, but put that down. Say, okay, I know I need to document that I've called them, done this.
Right.
Reach back out in a couple of weeks and just say, bringing this back to the top of your text string. Would love to get with you. I know you've had a crazy month. Let's connect. And then just remain a little bit on it. Be humble. Maybe you send them something, that's just prospecting. So the goal there is to meet with them. The goal with your already well-oiled machine agents, those 5 to 10 that you can call at any time, what are you doing for them? When you do get together, what are you doing in that moment? Are you going live with them to talk about what's happening in a certain area for potential buyers? Are you talking about, it could be anything. Just whatever you're talking about, whatever you're getting a good vibe on, talk about it on social. Go on. I always encourage them to go live on social. But not many do because it's scary. I get it. Live is, daunting. But I think if they can just get a few pictures of it, their lunch, their coffee, do a quick selfie together, and then, tag the restaurant, tag the agent, tag whoever they're working with, EXP, Keller Williams, whoever it is, Long and Foster, making sure you're doing that and getting your name out there a little bit too. Why not? But that also, by the way, further enhances the relationship, and you're growing that without even knowing you're growing it, because you tag them in something, and the odds are they're going to share it as well, because they might not be as savvy either. So that's kind of the goal. And then continuing to, don't just stop. I've put all this effort in, we had the coffee and now we're done. Like, stay on top of it. Keep sending them weekly videos. So if you could time block 30 minutes and you had 10 agents that you wanted to send a 30-second quick clip to, And it could be the same video. So you quick record it and then you just shoot the same one out. Maybe it's an update, an industry update. Maybe it's just, like I said, a quote that might resonate with them. Something Tom Ferry might have said, they'll love that. And maybe it's I come from the business development world, right? So we know all about the pop buys. We know all about the different seasons. National Cookie Day is among us again. So sending them little nuggets like that, that's always kind. If you, again, just spend, I don't know, 2 hours of your day driving around to their offices, just dropping off some cookies because it's National Cookie Day, it sticks.
It's so easy. Like, right. Well, when you and I when we're recording this, right, the Final Four was just set.
Mm-hmm.
And so we all have the ability now to like go look up which of your agents like went to Duke, North Carolina, Kansas, or Villanova. And what if you were sending all of them little short videos? It's like, I can't believe y'all made the Final Four. Could you afford one more bandwagon fan for the last couple games? That's such a simple strategy.
So good.
To show up in their world instead of begging them to say yes to yours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We just don't do it enough.
No, we don't.
So, excuse me. So I want to come back before we wrap up this episode to, you're documenting all of this process, which, let's be honest, it's not like documenting studying for your mortgage exam is like get your popcorn ready type content.
Mm-mm.
But to the right people, that content matters.
Right.
And so talk to us through like, what is the, if we can pull the curtain back a little bit, like what is the end game result for like, this is what I'm going to do. And then this is what I hope to accomplish by putting all this out there.
Sure. So I think during the process, it's just showing, there's a certain amount set for ethics. There's a certain amount on general mortgage knowledge, a certain amount on federal regulations and laws. So breaking down the important ones and why and why it matters to a borrower, why Reg Z should matter to an agent, little things like that. Being able to know, kind of having those 7 years in marketing kind of set me up for this. So I've met with enough people, enough mortgage bankers, enough agents, and I've heard enough journeys that I think molding it into this consumable content, if you will, I think is the key here. So there and beyond, showing the next generation of mortgage bankers, hey, she did it. If she could do it, so can you. Thank you very much, Kyle, for that. So I'm just putting those things out there, trying to show people like you can do this, whether you are at the bank right now and taking a test totally freaks you out. Come see what I think is the most important part, what I've learned throughout this journey. That is the most important part. And nobody loves test taking, by the way. I don't. Do you? Are you an avid test taker?
Ugh, I'm the worst test taker.
Yeah. We've been out of the game for so long, but okay, now it's back at the forefront if you have to. And I'm just trying to digest it and tell you about my journey. But in turn, being able to show all of the many things that I've coached, I've taught, I've told, I've hoped for, and show you the way that I'm going to start utilizing it and then bring you on that journey. What does that journey look like thereafter? All of the tools. And, I'll put an Atlantic Bay plug in here. The amazing support system we've got here for our mortgage bankers, and that's the power right there. That's the why, is to be able to show all of these amazing things that if I'm, almost a 32-year-old, I've got 2 small children. If I can do it, anybody could do it.
Yeah. And what I love about what you're doing is how many lenders get frustrated that like the consumer doesn't understand all the time they've put into becoming the expert of this.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But then why do we allow ourselves to be frustrated by a story we're not telling to anyone?
Yeah.
But if you just get on your high horse, you're like, I've studied 1,800 hours to be able, like, nobody cares.
No, nobody
cares. But if you're documenting the journey of, hey guys, I know it's 11 o'clock at night, nobody's watching this, but I wanted to record a video anyway. I was just reading through article blah section, studying for this exam. And oh my gosh, like I didn't even realize the implication of this for this type of person.
Right.
And so if that's you, guys, I just want y'all to think about this. This is how this will play out. This is how this might affect. And now the biggest secret to all of this is being exposed, which is all of this content makes you look like a rock star in the future when people start going, who's this Taylor Ellard girl?
Mm-hmm.
And they're able to go, she's right over there. Like,
Right.
go watch some of her videos, go listen to her podcast. And now all of a sudden you just moved to the top of people's lists because you allowed them to validate what they were hearing about you online.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think it's just a unique perspective. And what really powers me is figuring out who the next generation of mortgage bankers is going to be.
Yeah.
What is that going to look like? What does the future hold for that? And then, I mean, in turn, if we can get some people just looking in at what we've got to offer and the process, it's been fun thus far. So more to come, obviously.
I'm excited for people that over time join you guys because every lender has a story about being overpromised and underdelivered by any company they've worked for, right? That's kind of the way it goes.
Yep.
And so for you to be able to show publicly what this journey is looking like, and then allowing other people to see themselves in your journey, now you're probably, when this is all done and out there, you're probably not going to have as many interviews with people as you will just sit downs where they say, yes, I'm in. I don't really need you to do a whole lot more because I watched Taylor's journey. So now it's not lip service,
right?
Because I saw it. And that's the power, I think, of what's going to happen for you guys.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. I think one thing though is that we're meeting with top producers and seeing like what made that mold.
Yeah.
What traits made you a good mortgage banker? What's your success story look like? What were your aha moments? Trying to really figure out the avatar that it takes to make a good mortgage banker. And you would be surprised. I mean, the thing is we don't wake up one day or graduate college. My 4-year-old isn't going to come to me and say, I'd really like to be a loan officer when I grow up. Nobody says that, right? So, but when you do decide whether it's a career switch or you're in sales of some sort, you're an underwriter, whatever it takes to become that mortgage banker, I want to be there to help you and on your journey when you're feeling frustrated and you don't know that you can retain all of this information because you are working a full-time job, because you've got kids at home, whatever or because, you're still a kid yourself, trying to figure out what that looks like. I want to be the first resource.
I love it. I love it so much. Taylor, how do people get a hold of you?
So go follow lending_forward or listen to the podcast and you can find me or follow me, Taylor Ellard.
There you go. We'll have links to all those things in the show notes. Taylor, thank you. Thank you for bringing your brilliance.
Thank you for having
me to
this
podcast.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. And we appreciate you as the listeners. And so guys, I don't say this enough, but if you made it to this far into the show, the end of the show, and you haven't reviewed it, please leave us a review. It's not as much about you as much as it is what you say about us helps us be visible to more people. And so please go leave us a review. If you haven't, we hope you're having a great day wherever you're listening to this. And we'll be back real soon with another cool person with an even cooler story. Bye, guys.